Hello, welcome back, everyone.
Hello, miss.
Hello. Thank you for your reply, Bastian. I thought my mic was broken or something. Now we are going to start with the second hour, and I think this hour it's going to be less dense, and probably we're going to start. We're going to finish a little bit sooner than, or we're going to finish earlier um than usual. No, earlier than usual. And first, we are going to play a game, but this is going to be a very short game. And the game is called Who Am I? And today we only have one mystery person. In this case, is a male. And it says, Who am I? He's British, but he lives in the United States, or he is currently living in the United States. By the way, if you know the answer, raise your hand. His middle name is Kimberly. No, no yet. And he is an actor, comedian, singer, writer, producer, and a television host. No hands yet? I can give you more clues. He is blonde, has blue eyes, has a TV show with his name on the title of the TV show, and it's a late show. What else can I say about him? He was part of the cast of the movie Into the Woods. It's a very good movie if you like musicals. And he is a good friend of Harry Styles. And when he was having a baby with his wife, Harry Styles took over his show. That's called The Late something.
Miss, I think James Corden.
You are correct. Our secret man of today was James Corden from The Late Late Show. Oh, the name of the show doesn't say. Oh, The Late Late Show with James Corden. That was it. And yes, he is James Corden. He has some very good. His program, at least for me, is entertaining, and he has some very good YouTube videos of his program on YouTube if you want to watch it. And now we are going. And sorry, I mentioned he's British, by the way. If you want to listen to a British man speaking, he has a very nice accent. Now we're going to practice, and first we are going to do a fill in the gaps activity, and it's about Australian English. And as you could remember, we saw many ways in which we could abbreviate a word, or we can use a different word that was only used in Australia, instead of like the regular words we use in other. We use in other English-speaking countries. As you could remember, there were some words like Becky for cookies or biscuits, or I don't know, there were so many, especially in the video. And this activity consists in filling in the gaps using Australian slang. So you have a text there, a short paragraph, I will say, and you have to complete it. You have 5 minutes to do this, to complete with the missing words, and after those 5 minutes we are going to check. So depending on the context, Um, you have to complete with the missing words. If you want me to give you hints of the missing words, you can also ask me for hints. There are some words that are used more than one time. To be more specific, there are 3 words which are repeated. How are we? Are we ready to check? Or do you need some extra minutes? Two more minutes.
Miss,
Yes.
I don't know about the others, but I at least don't remember every single slang and the word that is like it means.
It's
So
okay.
I
Yeah, go ahead.
so well I wouldn't really know what to put in certain parts.
Which ones do you have blanks?
I mean, most of them really, like nearly all of them, because I don't have the words, so I can really
You
know
cannot.
what
Okay,
to.
let's do this all together then. And I am going to help you. It says, my mate Joey invited me around to his house yesterday. There was a word that was to use instead of, in this case, the word afternoon. Do you have the answer? Any of you? We are going to check this all together. Do you remember?
Are right?
Yes. So yesterday apple. And this is for a quick. In this case, it was a word that was the same in England or in the United Kingdom and in Australia, and it was related to it was a word for a cup of tea. Do you know what the word was?
Opa.
That's right. It was pronounced like cuppa, like cut, but cup. So it was cup. And then it says, Joey isn't from, and here talking about the country Australia. Do you remember what was the country name? It appeared in the video. I don't know if you were able to listen to the men when they were talking. It's a way in which is the way in which Australian people pronounce Australia. Would you be able to catch that one? No?
I mean, Aussie is like, oh, you call someone that is Australian, but I don't know about the country itself.
It was, yes, you're right. Aussie, it's how you call someone that it's in Australia, but the country, they call it Australia. Instead of Australia, we just say Australia. So with an A, I-E, and an A. And then he says, but he loves a good, and in this case, we repeat the same word we previously wrote down. Oops, that's an A, by the way. It looks very ugly, but it's an A. Therefore, which one is the word that should be there in the following blank? If it's a word we are repeating. But he loves a good
Copa.
copa. That's right. A good copa. And then it says, I said to him, mate, can we just go to... And this is the name of a place.
Macas.
Macas. That's right. The first time I hear this word, I was like, to what? I didn't understand that they were referring to McDonald's as Macas. But yeah, that's how they call McDonald's. Some of them go to Macas for some brekkie. And it's very interesting when you listen to people actually speaking like this. And then it says, I really feel like a burger. Oh, I really feel like a burger. In this case, the person or the speaker, it's not saying that he feels like he is a burger, but he is saying that he wants to eat a burger. No, it's not like the literal meaning, like I really feel like a burger, but he really feels like he wants to eat a burger. A burger. Then it says, on the way to, the missing word should be a word that it's repeated because we're mentioning a place.
Macas again?
Yes. In our way to Macas. And then we have two words that I'm not pretty sure if you could remember them. But it says we had to stop at the for some. So it's a place in which you stop when you need something. It's okay if you don't know the name of the Australian slang, but which place do you think this place is? Well, which place do you comes to your head, think that you have to stop in this place to get something that you need?
The station for some gasoline, I think.
Yeah, that's right. And they call the station a servo, like instead of a service station, a servo. And for them, they don't use gasoline, but they use petrol, and they have a word for petrol that starts with P, and it's followed by E. And I'm going to give you this one because I don't think you were going to. I don't think you were able to catch that one because it passed very fast in the video. And then says, after filling up the, and this is a word we are repeating, I put on the radio, blank was playing. Two more words.
The servo.
The servo, that's right. And do you know what was on the radio? It's something very interesting that I didn't know before. Making some research for this class. It's the name of a band. I am going to... Nobody? No. Yeah.
Is ACDC, I think it's Ekadabeka, or something like that.
Like that. Akadaka. I thought I thought the name of the band was internationally known as ACDC, but when I heard this, I was like, what? It was so weird for me to realize that people actually in Australia know this band, not as ACDC, but as Akadaka. that was a whole text. So it says, my mate Joe invited me around his house yesterday able for a quick cuppa. Joe isn't from Australia, but he loves a good cuppa. I said to him, mate, can we just go to Macca's? I really feel like a burger. On my way to Macca's, we had to stop at the Serbo for some patty. After filling up the Serbo, I put on the radio. Agadaka was playing. So yeah, that was the filling the gaps in an Australian slang edition. Some very interesting vocabulary that it's understood by Australian speakers. And now we are going to complete this bingo. And I don't know if you could remember from the, I think it was last class, or at least my last class. And here you have to identify the features of connected speech that are happening inside each one of these boxes. But now we are also adding a new feature, and it is that we have the recordings of each one of those sentences. So now you have some minutes to, a couple of minutes to read the sentences, to write down the sentences, if you will. And after 2 minutes, I am going to explain once again, and I am going to play the recordings. And then you're going to have some more minutes more minutes for you to identify the features. So you may start reading them and writing them now. Okay, so now that you have read the examples, I am going to play the recordings, and after that you're going to have some minutes to identify the features that may be present. In some examples, there are more than one feature, and in some, the same feature is present in more than one case. In others, different features are happening in one box. I wrote there, linking are ja and wa, elision, assimilation, reduction, and intrusion, and it is because those features are the ones that are present in these 9 sentences. So I am going to play the recording of the first one.
The media are waiting outside.
Could you listen to the audio?
Yes, miss.
Great. Second time.
The media are waiting outside.
And a third time.
The media are waiting outside.
Now the second audio.
He only has 10 coins. He only has 10 coins.
Third time.
He only has 10 coins.
Number 3.
We stopped working hours ago. We stopped working hours ago.
Number 3 again.
We stopped working hours ago. We stopped working hours ago.
One last time.
We stopped working hours ago. We stopped working hours ago.
Number 4.
You're gonna love driving down the freeway and seeing all the different cars.
Again.
You're gonna love driving down the freeway and seeing all the different cars.
One last time.
You're gonna love driving down the freeway and seeing all the different cars.
Number 5.
You and me kept going. You and me kept going.
Second time.
You and me kept going. You and me kept going.
One last time.
You and me kept going. You and me kept going.
Number 6.
We saw Anna on YouTube. We saw Anna on YouTube.
Second time.
We saw Anna on YouTube. We saw Anna on YouTube.
One last time.
We saw Anna on YouTube. We saw Anna on YouTube.
Number 7.
I don't know if I can come next week.
Again.
I don't know if I can come next week.
One last time.
I don't know if I can come next week.
Now number 8.
I've got my eye on you. I've got my eye on you.
Second time.
I've got my eye on you. I've got my eye on you.
And one last time.
I've got my eye on you. I've got my eye on you.
And number 9.
They got here the day after you arrived. They got here the day after you arrived.
Second time.
They got here the day after you arrived. They got here the day after you arrived.
And one last time.
They got here the day after you arrived. They got here the day after you arrived.
Now you have some minutes to identify the features, and even though some were not that clear on the recording, and if you think there is a feature, you can write it down. We can discuss that as well. And if you want me to play a recording one more time, you can also ask me that. Ask me to do that. And remember, if you complete 3 in a row, that can be, for instance, number 1, 2, or 3, or number 3, 6, and 9, or 1, 5, and 9, or 7, 5, and 3, raise your hand.
Miss, can you repeat the fourth one?
Of course. Number 4.
You're gonna love driving down the freeway and seeing all the different cars. You're gonna love driving down the freeway and seeing all the different cars.
One last time.
You're gonna love driving down the freeway and seeing all the different cars.
Remember, the features are linking, elision, assimilation, reduction, and intrusion. Do we have any bingo? Bastián, Diego, Gaspar, Kelly, Pia, or Sebastián? Do you have 3 boxes in a row?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. So time's up and nobody won the big prize. It's a pity. For number 1, that is
We don't have prize. Oh.
you didn't win the prize. It's a pity. Sometimes
Well,
things
next
like
time.
this happen. Yes, that's correct. Now for number 1,
The media are waiting outside.
which feature do you think is present in this sentence? If it says the media are waiting outside,
Linking R.
that's right. But is it
After
linking or is it an intrusive R?
I am not sure. What is the difference?
I am going to help you. It is an intrusive R because there is no R in the spelling between media and R.
Ah, yes, yes.
It's an
I,
intrusive.
I thought that you were telling about if it was an linking or an intrusion. But
If it
I
was linking or
understand
intrusion, yeah.
just the difference between when the R is spelled in the word and when doesn't have an R. Yes.
Thank you very much. Now for number 2. Do we have, I mean, any of you has the answer for number 2? He only has 10 coins.
We saw Anna on YouTube.
That was
We
not the one.
saw Anna on YouTube.
That was not the one. This was the one. Number 2, he only has 10 coins. What do you think it is? I mean, what do you think it's present? Linking, intrusion, assimilation, reduction, or intrusion?
This was difficult, but I think maybe assimilation
Where?
in coins, the S becomes an voice Z.
coins.
Because of the N, like progressive assimilation.
Yeah. And also here happens something that's also another type of assimilation, but it's regressive because it ends with an N, but the following consonant begins with a K, so the N turns into an N. So it says he only has 10 coins. So thank you very much. Now for number 3. Diego Troncoso?
Yes.
Can you help me with number 3?
I listened to this sentence, but I didn't recognize any
Teacher?
feature.
If I say we stopped working years ago, instead of saying we stopped working hours ago, there is a phenomenon that happens here in which we don't even pronounce some elements. Which are those elements?
It's
That's correct. We have elision. Here, right? The stopped.
yes.
Thank you very much. Kelly? No? Kelly? Gaspar? Or any of you from numbers 4
Yes,
to
miss. Yes,
9.
miss. I'm
Gaspar?
here. Yes.
Great. For numbers 4 to 9, which one do you have? Or which one do you want to answer?
4, 5, and 6.
Okay. So number 4, which which feature do we have?
Intrusion could be.
Intrusion. Where?
Could you put the audio, please, for check the exercise?
You're gonna love driving down the freeway and seeing all the different cars.
I am going to give you a hint. Here we have 2 features. One is at the very beginning. And the other one is in the last.
In the last. In the last part.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you know which ones are the ones?
Number 5.
Okay.
You and me keep going.
Where's the feature?
Assimilation. You and me. Could be.
You and me. Assimilation? I don't think so.
No, not really. Not
No,
really.
because no.
Could be elision.
In number 5,
Yes.
I am going to give you a hint. We have elision in number 5 and in number 4. Can you tell me which words? Yes. In which words do we have deletion? Listen to number 5, for example.
You and me kept going. You and me kept going.
Kept going. Kept.
That's right. There's an elision of T.
Letter T. Yes.
And in number 4,
Could you put the order, please?
I am going to read the sentence because it doesn't sound that good. It's, you're gonna love driving down the freeway and seeing all the different cars.
Sing and different.
In seeing, we're okay. But in different, we also have an elision of T.
And
That was the
letter T. Yes.
Thank you very much.
On the number 6.
Number 6.
Number 6. We saw. This is intrusion.
Yes, that's
We
right.
saw Rana on YouTube.
Do we have another feature?
No.
No. Where I am going to give you a hint. Here we have one feature that was intrusion. Here we also have another one, and here we also have another one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot it.
So, do you know which ones those are?
Yes.
Which ones?
In the number 6,
Yes.
intrusion. We saw Rana on YouTube. Let me think.
Can somebody help Gaspar? No? You are in the middle of the sea with no lifesavers. So I am going to help you. Here
Well,
happens something very similar to in the first case. And Aaron, we can link these two vowels together with an R. So we have an intrusive R as well. See?
yes. It's a linking R.
It's an intrusive R.
An intrusive R. Yes.
And in the of we have two ways of pronouncing this word. One is YouTube, like YouTube, and the other one is YouTube. YouTube.
In the first one, YouTube.
No, I'm telling you, those are the two ways in which you can pronounce those words. I mean that
okay.
word.
Okay.
In the case of the first one, you say YouTube. YouTube.
Or YouTube.
Yes, and then you can also say YouTube.
YouTube.
Yes, that's a phenomenon. And I think I only wrote assimilation, and I should have probably have written this separately. There was something called yod. Do you remember the second element? It starts with C.
Coalescence.
Coalescence.
Very much. So
Coalescence.
yes, that was an example of yod coalescence. Thank you, Gaspar. Thank you, Sebastian.
You're welcome, Miss.
Do we have a volunteer for the ones that are missing, or shall we call it a day? Were you able to find the examples? Because if not, this is going to be homework. Do you have the answers for number 7, 8, and 9? Any of you? Sebastián? Diego? Sebastián? Kelly? Jasper? No? Okay. As I already mentioned, this is going to be homework. And I think now this is going to make a sound, so I'm sorry.
Got my eye on you.
I don't know.
Oh, this was a video I have prepared, but I don't think we're going to have time to watch it. So we're going to move on to the recap before you leave. In today's lesson, we talked about different Englishes. We talked about British English, American English, Australian English, and now during the second part of the lesson, we worked with different features of connected speech. And I don't know if you remember, but Mr. Bruno said that features of connected speech are present in songs, and the video was about that. Was features of connected speech in songs. I think we have time to only listen to the first example, so pay attention.
So tell me when you're gonna let me in.
Oops, I'm sorry. In this case, he was supposed to say "let me in," but because of the the "t" changed to "p." So he said, "So tell me when you're gonna let me in," instead of "t." So that's just one example of the many that exist. And probably if we have time next session, I can show you the video. But if you have any questions, just ask them now.
That is a very good song from Kim. I
Yes,
loved.
indeed, it is. Any more comments or questions? If there are no comments, Miss Bruna, do you want to say something? Having issues with the mic. It's okay. With that being said, I think that's all for today's lesson. Have a nice day, and I will see you next week.
Thank you, Miss. Have a nice day.
You're
Thank you,
welcome.
Miss.
You too.
Have a nice
Bye.
day. Goodbye.
Take
See you
care.
next time.
Wear your masks, and goodbye.
Bye-bye.